Welcome back to a wonderful new school year at OJCS. Tonight, I'm going to be speaking to you about technology and what kinds of things I shared with you last year at this time. What did we achieve from our goals, and what is our plan moving forward for this school year? So last year, when I was speaking here, we talked a lot about the anxious generation and how our faculty had read the book, and it was leading a lot of our conversations as a school. And some of the initiatives that we began and were successful with was remaining a cell phone free school by collecting cell phones at the beginning of every day from our middle school students and then giving back to them at the end of the day. We had a book club with our grade 4 parent cohort, which was extremely successful. We shared a whole bunch of resources which are linked here in terms of books, podcasts, articles, resources that we felt could be helpful and that many of you contributed to as well, that you'll likely see on there. We developed in-class lessons for our students on ways to responsibly and meaningfully and respectfully use technology, both in the classroom and at home, and we continue to build that library. We increased our monitoring in class, both from a security level by implementing securely and also just by changing and discussing the ways that we are having students and how and where students are using technology in the classroom. And there's an explanation for that as well if you click on that link. Some things that we didn't get to that we still hope to are the parent having some parent sessions, evening kind of workshops and lectures, bringing people in for that. And then also the Let Grow experience, which is essentially a homework program um, facilitated by the school, but really needs parent buy-in. We kind of explored it a little bit through our grade 4 parent book club, and we piloted it very briefly at the end of the school year, but we didn't really get going with that as much as we would have liked. Other things that we did achieve is we were able to create kind of an at a glance of how technology is used grade by grade. So that is more visible and transparent to everybody. We started it last year, but with teachers changing grades, with new faculty coming on, we have not yet we don't have the final version, but that is available to start looking at if you would like. And as soon as it's complete, we will be sending it out. Teachers will be sending it out to their grade cohorts, and we will also be posting that on the blog. We've also been working on our AI policies, which I'll be talking about a little bit more. Unplugged Canada. We've updated our BYOD policy, and we also our bring your own device policy, and we've also signed a partnership for the next 3 years with the Social Institute. So, in terms of our AI policies, we were really lucky to have some faculty attend some PD over the summer. And we also, during our pre-planning week before school started, we spent some time with the faculty as well. We truly believe that, as with everything, education and educating ourselves and educating the students is the best thing that we can do. Pretending that AI doesn't exist or having strong feelings about it one way or the other is fine, but we need to make sure that we are educating ourselves, that we understand it, and that we're making intentional choices for ourselves as a school where it's being used and why, and being transparent with that. So for our PD with our staff, we offered a whole bunch of different options based for teachers to be able to choose based on where they are at with their own understanding and comfort level with AI. And then we also brought it to the students after the fact, to our middle school students, talking about when is it appropriate, what rules do they think we should have, what rules do they know we have, looking at our current policies and adjusting that as need be. Our grade 4 parent book club on the anxious generation was extremely successful. We had about 11 participants, which was a great turnout. And through those discussions, a couple of things came out. So first of all, just being able to get together with the cohort, your grade cohort, parents who you might not necessarily speak to on a regular basis, helped unite and make people feel like they were not alone in their feelings. And then a lot of really incredible ideas and initiatives came out of that just through discussion. So these parents initiated our school's participation in Unplugged Canada, which is the Canadian version of Wait Until 8th, if you've heard of that in the States. But essentially, it is the pledge, parents pledge that they will not give their child or their children social media or access to social media, sometimes even a cell phone, until grade 8. And so we already have 13 pledges signed, but I highly encourage you to visit that, if read about it, see what the pledge entails, discuss it. But if you see within our school other families that have signed it within your grade level, when your child inevitably at some point comes home and says, but everybody has it, you know that they haven't, because here we have proof that however many families have signed on and agreed to be in solidarity on this. And we also updated our BYOD program, Bring Your Own Device program. So right now we have iPads in K to 3. We have about 10 iPads in each class that the teachers manage and oversee. We also now have school-owned Chromebooks in grade 4. So it is one-to-one in that every student has a Chromebook that they're able to use at any time. However, they are school owned, not family owned. And this allows us to monitor them and ensure that the security settings are such that we're comfortable with, that students are not downloading things on there that they are not necessarily supposed to be downloading, or things that can be distracting. And we can just monitor that a lot better. And now our BYOD program is from grades 5 to 8, and that can continue to be a discussion. But it definitely became clear that students having their own devices owned by them in their mind at the grade 4 level was just too young, and we made those changes. And then, as well, that desire to have more transparency and information about how to manage tech use at school and at home. What does securely do? What are our Wi-Fi security settings? Why sometimes our students being on their devices at home and it's telling them that certain websites are blocked. So this just there's a whole FAQ section on the website where you can find answers to those questions, greater detail, and also some helpful links in terms of setting parent controls at home if you are unaware of how to do that at this point. The most exciting thing that I want to announce is our partnership with the Social Institute. So the Social Institute is an organization that we've signed on for the next 3 years, and they essentially have resources for students, parents, and educators to help children navigate social media and technology positively and responsibly. So in school, we've signed on for partnership for grades 6 to 8. There are lessons and things available for kids from kindergarten all the way until grade 12, but the in-school access that we have is just for grades 6 to 8. What they also have then, though, is the social toolkit, which is available for all of the families in our school. And through that toolkit, you get tech tips, summaries on different apps that your children may be already on or asking for, and ways to engage your children in conversation that reflect these kind of real life scenarios and things that they might be experiencing, and reinforcing all the lessons that they're learning in school. So, from that, just to give you a little bit of an insight into what the lessons are that students are doing, they are created by the Social Institute, and they also have student ambassadors who help create these lessons, because ultimately they want these lessons to be engaging for students. So, they have student ambassadors to help them make sure that what they are creating is relevant, timely, and engaging for the students who are then participating in it. As teachers, we get real-time results, and they are also paying attention to trends throughout social media and online and things that are going on in the world that we as adults may not necessarily be aware of, but that things that we should be paying attention to and know about in order to support our children. So just as an example, we were able to run these lessons, and then this is some of the insight that we got. The question was, how often do you ask someone if it's okay before you share information about them? And our 86% of our students said daily. And so for me, that's like, great. You and we as educators are doing the right thing, that our students know that they must get permission before they post information about somebody else. And then on the flip side, there was a question to our grade 8 students that says, how often do you think about your reputation before posting on social media? And 67% of our students said never. And that also is something to pay attention to, because these are our students who are about to go into high school, into a greater social online world, and we really want them to be thinking about their reputation before they post anything online. So, like I said, for that family toolkit, this is a link, and the link is also in our parent handbook. It's on the website. It's going to be in the Harashat, but you need this unique code, which is not very easy to remember. But this unique code which will allow you to sign up for the family toolkit. And I can't recommend enough signing up for this. So, as an example, when you are in the family toolkit, you can go to their playbooks and you can search for any app that your child is currently using: Roblox, Minecraft, Snapchat, Messenger Kids. Like, really, the age of your child doesn't necessarily matter. It will tell you then within that, they'll give you information on what the app is, how children are using it appropriately, ways that you can help your child use it appropriately, ways they call them wins, and then also where students might be tripping up, and risks. So how are people monetizing from this? What are some things that they might not realize that they're doing that are dangerous? What are some things as parents that we should be aware of? And so that in itself is such an invaluable resource. Like I said, they have those huddles, which are basically discussions that you can look at, and the teachers, after they run lessons. So if any of you are parents of middle school students, after teachers run a Social Institute lesson, they will then send you some follow-up conversation questions, huddle questions that you can discuss at home. But as a parent, you can also go into the age range from grades 3 to 12, look at the discussions that are on there, things that they're recommending to talk about, and you can use those at home as well. And then they also have a newsletter, which I also find extremely useful. Every week, they send information about things that are trending topics. However, they are also very reactive to what is going on in the world. So this past week, they had likely planned in advance that one of the things they were going to be talking about was trends around TikTok, some misinformation about WhatsApp, and changes in their privacy settings, and just misinformation in general. But then, because of the unfortunate sheer number and then incidents of shootings in the United States, they then did also offer a slew of resources for parents and educators about responding to tragic events in the news and how to talk to children about that at all different age levels. And so for our community, of course, unfortunately, there's often unfortunate and difficult news, and how to speak to children about that. And the truth is, unfortunately, because of the world that we live in, even if we ourselves are not talking to our children about it, they come to school, they're at the park, they're on the bus. Some kids have cell phones, some don't, and they have older siblings, they have older friends, whatever it may be, and this information comes to their ears, and it's important for us to know how to respond to it. So they provide excellent resources on that specifically, but they're always looking at what's happening in the world and what kids are exposed to and offering support. So, in conclusion, our goals for 2025, 2026 are continuing to refine our AI policies, and thinking about how we are monitoring our students' tech use both at the network level and also in class. We absolutely want to start running those family workshops. We are looking into having people join us virtually and in person, speakers coming in to talk about things that would interest you. But we also want to continue that momentum from last year. Please sign the Unplugged Canada Pledge if that speaks to you. If you are interested in participating in a book club with parents at your grade level, or if you want to have just parent discussions by grade level, there's so much value in speaking with your cohort of parents. So please just be in touch. We are happy to support that in any way possible. Hope you have a lovely evening.